So, hello everyone, it's Gabby, and it's time to play some more Danganronpa 2. Last time, God, a lot happened. We tried to figure out what the hell happened to Nagito, and then are you saying chapter 6 as soon as you said that? Oh, you should know. I don't know what you're talking about, but anyway, right. We tried to figure out who killed Nagito, and Nagito, being Nagito, decided to devise some insane plan that really only Nagito could do. And, it was basically, it was a murder disguised as a suicide, disguised as a murder, where he apparently was trying to he basically used his luck to force the traitor from the Future Foundation to be the one who killed him without them realizing it, so that way that he could make everybody else get the wrong mistake and kill everyone but the traitor. Nobody really knows why exactly that's his motivation. It's all really weird and confusing, and then we found out the only way that we could figure this out was for the traitor to reveal themselves, and so kind of almost hesitantly, like they had to almost force themselves, they did. Chiaki Nanami, our best girl, our gamer girlfriend. Of course, she was too good to be true. Of course, she had to be revealed to be the traitor and was actually working for the Future Foundation the entire time. She wasn't one of us. Of course, then pretty much like the moment we start to even thinking about trying to mourn her or figure out anything, Monokuma says the school trip is over, and also the world starts glitching out. Basically, we are in real Doki Doki literature club hours. I can't say literature apparently without my tongue twisting. This is. Basically, from here on out, things get kinda meta and kinda interesting and kind of video gamey. I won't explain it. You know what? When we get to it, it's gonna really speak for itself. Yeah, Chiaki was the traitor, our favorite gamer girlfriend, because of course she had to be the traitor. She was just too nice. And yes, this was before Doki Doki Literature Club. This game came out in 2012, so obviously there are other games that, play with the medium and do, fake glitches and stuff like that. I don't know. The only one I always think of is, Metal Gear Solid 2, I guess. But, I don't know. I think Danganronpa 2 does it really good. But, before we can get to the climax, before we can get to the real Doki Doki Literature Club hours stuff, we have to get through Chapter 0. Chapter 0, which is basically a prologue to Chapter 6, kind of. Chapter 0 is really fascinating, but I can't exactly explain what makes it so interesting without getting too much into spoiler territory. Basically, it's one of those things where you just have these characters having dialogue with each other, and it means a lot more once you've actually played the game, or if you've played other games and watched the anime and the light novel things, and it's basically, it provides a very unique perspective if you're really into the Danganronpa deep lore. The deep lore. The deep lore of how this whole world works and what characters do what and who's actually really important. And Chapter 0 is really fascinating. I'm in hindsight and just looking back at it, it's going to be really interesting. So that's the first thing. Then we get to Chapter 6, and then I guess I might just start fangirling once I start remembering every part of this chapter that I love so much. So, I guess let's get started. Chapter 0. Heading to the school trip. Obviously, it's a little bit different. It's definitely a different way to start out. I mean, Chapter 6 in Danganronpa 1 didn't have anything like this, but yeah. I'd say pay attention to the dialogue, but if you don't understand the context, it probably doesn't really mean much. Anyway, let's go. It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. The shaking was quite irregular, just when you thought it was a series of small shakes. It would suddenly shake violently, and every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me, it was comforting. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited. But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who was loved by talent. Detecting regularities among irregularities won't be that difficult. How boring. Do you like ships? And of course, you think you've got enough Nagito, but no, there's never enough Nagito. There's always more Nagito in this game. On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. You looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Yeah, of course. Ships? Or ships of another kind? I mean, yes and yes. I will say that line's kind of a meme as well. Not necessarily just because, like, relationships, but just, I don't know. When you find out who Nagito's talking to, just the fact that he says this is kind of really funny. And yeah, just got here and found an edgelord. How goes it? When you say edgelord, do you mean Nagito or do you mean this mysterious narrator person? They're both kind of edgelords, I'll be completely honest. Anyway, I'm going good. Yes, it's both of them, okay. Anyway, let's continue. You do like ships, right? Ships. Ah, that's right. That's it. So this is a ship. You just realized that now? Is it really that funny? Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly, I saw his true character. The over-familiar attitude, the friendly smile. But under that thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odor, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. How could that be sensible? Okay, sure. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Komaeda. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that. Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Lucky? Ah, so that's your talent then. What a boring talent. A boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly? That's because I have luck as well. Huh? Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess? Huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope's Peak Academy too, right? So you're one of us? But that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Sorry. I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. Not you. This world. Huh? This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They are profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level. And because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring. Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. It makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Perhaps... Does that have anything to do with the reason you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world. Not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right? Listen well. Using people is a talent too. It is now my turn to use that person, just as they used me in the past. That person? Are you talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, they're already... I have it with me. The contribution that person left to me. Even now, it rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Then, will I be able to see her again? And once again, we start getting the ominous choir music. Because this is always a great sign. Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much? Hate. Then, explain your hand. Ah, this. The end of that bandage is a woman's hand, right? Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I have successfully become one with ultimate despair, my sworn enemy. I see. So you salvage the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. yeah, okay. Everyone's like, wait. Yeah, we're in kind of really fucked up territory. Oh man, you know the moment you think you know what Nagito's capable of. Oh yeah, I just cut off my own arm and replaced it with her arm. You know. I just see her as my enemy, you know, because she's my sworn enemy. Because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power, and for that I. Wait, huh? Do I hate her? Huh. That's strange. Huh? Huh? Look out the window! Finally here! I think we're in the wrong boat. Oh god, yeah. It's like, okay, red flags, massive red flags. Excuse me, can I get off this boat now? Sorry, just a bit of little burp thing. I can just hear Shigemaru from Naruto saying, what a drag, whenever they say how boring. I mean, it's sort of a different, I'll tell you right now, the reason why this character's like that, for kind of different reasons, but yeah. Okay, Robin, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. Okay, so I'll tell you right now that's kind of actually a bit of a plot hole about that if it's Junko's arm, she got crushed to death according to her execution, so where did her hand come from? I don't know. So that's a little bit of a plot hole. Some people think maybe they took Mukuro's body, and I don't know. Anyway, that's... doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. Huh? I already know, because I am loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There is no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you are boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? God, it's like... It's really... Chapter 0 is interesting. Chapter 0 is really interesting because, God, like, you know, even knowing what I know, it's still really super ambiguous what's going on there. Not necessarily Nagito, but whoever that other character is, the one who's saying that everything is boring. It's still very ambiguous exactly what was going on there. Anyway, I could talk about this all the time once I actually finish the game, and you know, I don't have to worry about spoiling the plot twist in chapter 6 that relate to that chapter. Anyway, yeah. He found a hand on the beach. I'm gonna take this. Yeah, tell you what. Yeah, totally. It might be that, but in all honesty, the fact that it's got the red nails, basically, like you saw those nails when on Mukuro's corpse in chapter 5 of Danganronpa 1, and it was a sort of a sign if you were sort of paying attention that there was probably Junko's body because she had the fake nails on. But anyway. And Nagito always plays by his own insane rule set. Always. Anyway, yep. Anyway, that's chapter 0. Now let's start chapter 6 for real this time. We're back to Hajime Hinata. We're not playing as... Well, we weren't even playing as that, but like we don't have mysterious narrator anymore. Huh? What is this? It's a door. There's a door. I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was how the beginning of the game started as well, with a door in the middle of nowhere. Huh? A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? We're back. Does this place look familiar? Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground, but then why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before. When we were all gathered in that classroom, just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island? Why am I in a place like this every time I get on the internet? It's just like the first game, including the same sprite and everything. Except things are a little bit different right now because we're still getting those weird glitchy dead pixels for some reason. That's not my computer, that's the game. This is a test of the school broadcast system. 大丈夫、聞こえてるよね。では、お前ら、希望が峰学園にようこそ。これから卒業試験についての説明を行いますので、至急体育館までお集まりください。Assembling at the gym, huh? Why does that sound familiar? Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yeah, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope's Peak Academy." But why would this place be Hope's Peak Academy? And not just that, what is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? And so... What is this? In a normal classroom there'd be a window, but instead, there's this iron plate bolted here. And I tried knocking on it with my fist. Looks like it's a pretty thick iron plate. Is this to keep us trapped? What the heck? This place where iron plates are covering the windows inside the classrooms? Is it really Hope's Peak Academy? Don't worry, during this chapter, all will be revealed. This is a surveillance camera. Why would there be a surveillance camera inside the school? I wonder, does this have the same purpose as the surveillance cameras on Jabberwock Island? If so, who's watching us? Is it whoever's controlling Monokuma? We can still... Yes! We can still look at the clock. Great. What's the time? This clock doesn't have any hands. A clock without hands is meaningless. Why would something like this be in a classroom? Oh, shit! I saw that! I saw that! Does this monitor save the same purpose as the monitors on the island? If so, this would be under Monokuma supervision, right? Is this place really Hope's Peak Academy? Damn it, what's going on? I saw that. Like I said, there are hidden Monokumas in Chapter 6 as well. Oh yes, don't worry, this is getting weird. It's what I love about it. I love this part of the game, it's so fun. It's fan service, rolled into plot, rolled into just some fun, like, deep lore, and... Anyway, alright, I guess let's go to the gym. Can we go to the old build... Wait a sec. Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least, it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope's Peak Academy. Is this the creepy place, the Hope's Peak Academy that I've admired for so long? A Danganronpa game getting weird? Never heard of that before. It's probably a building the Monokuma made to startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right. That's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? Then I'll go and definitely clear things up. Look, we're back, guys. We're back at Hope's Peak Academy. Except things are a little bit different. Like, invisible walls are everywhere. In fact, luckily the map actually tells you, everything that's in white are the places you can actually enter. Everything that's not white is blocked off by your invisible pixel walls. Sadly, we can't go to the dormitory. Oh, on top of the invisible pixel wall, there's also a giant no symbol there. Thanks, game. So, anyway, yeah, and we can't... Are things ruined? No, I mean, in all honesty, it looks like the environment looks like it's pretty much the same. It's just this weird pixel effect that's on all of the doors and windows. Of course I know what's happening, guys, don't worry. I'm just trying to make it more entertaining for people who are watching this blind. Which is like one person, but people might be watching the VODs later, so who knows. Anyway. So yeah, pixels are everywhere, so do you guys remember how to get to the gym from the first game? Okay, the AV room has an eye on it. I feel like I might actually take my sweet ass time in this chapter, because I'm just going to be like looking at everything around here, because they can be a bit, sometimes they can be a bit creative with the roadblocks. The store has just become monochrome. We can't sadly use the mono machine, We can't go to the exit like we did last time. I think that was the first thing you did in the first game. The nurse's office is also grayed out. We can't go to the second. Oh, we can't go to the We can't go to the bathroom. Can we go to the girls' bathroom? Nope, that's grayed out too. And nice. All right. So I guess we have no choice. Let's go to the gym. The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not gonna cower away anymore. And so, I brace myself and cautiously open the door. Oh, that's terrific. Everything's fine. Chapter 6. This is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. Oh, jeez. That music was kind of messed up. I wonder if that was supposed to be like that because everything's pixelated and so the music also doesn't sound right. But yeah, also it's probably a good point to note that, this game in Japanese, the Japanese subtitle of the game is Goodbye Despair Academy. So it's basically this. It's basically just, putting in the title of the game, I guess, to hopefully explain why it's called that. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of the door. It was a normal gymnasium. Okay, because, when Hajime said that, I'm like, okay, this is the same Hajime who had to deal with people being turned into robots and starving to death and Nagito and bomb threats. I'm like, how could he not be prepared for it? The answer is, the reason why he wasn't prepared for it is because looks so normal. Hey, everyone's here! Yay, our friends are back. Yo, Hajime. You heard the announcement and came here too? You guys did too, right? Hey, what do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Host Peak Academy or something? That cannot be possible. You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello! How does it feel to return to long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy? You. Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock! I just told you this guy. I just told you guys this is Hope's Peak Academy. There's no way in hell that's true. Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it? Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell to ruin. You were serious about that? I don't believe it. And of course, Minimaru was here as well. Yay! We sort of have another person, but not really, because it's just a robot, doesn't have his intelligence, but, But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean? Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy, and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic. Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. And there we go. Monokuma is breaking the fourth wall. Thanks, Monokuma. And it's funny because, like I said, once we finish this, like every time now Monokuma is breaking the fourth wall, he's not just doing that for the sake of jokes. This game is so good. Let's go. Someone? Enough of this bullshit. Just spit it out already. Where'd you take us, you bastard? Though I am not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin and... It means... I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin. What do you mean, between? What do you mean, made? Oh my! I don't mind getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy. I'm still waiting for Sonnen to try run over Monokuma with a tank. Definitely agreed. Sonya in Danganronpa 3 needed to be in a tank. I don't make the rules. Why didn't they give her a tank? Give Sonya a tank. Hashtag. Good. Very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment. You're planning to make us do something, aren't you? It's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam. Then, what is the graduation exam? Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. Huh? We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here. This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let us choose right now. You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Main cast? Meaning, you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives. So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean? I have dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope's Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So, please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this. Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. That's impossible, right? How do we make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible. There is no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I want to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on this island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? I mean, the thing is, it's kind of funny you say it like that, because, like, Monokuma says he basically made Hope's Peak, created this, but the ancient ruin always looked like Hope's Peak Academy to begin with. Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head. I can't really, like, tell you what my train of thought is, because that might spoil something. This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it. Why is this happening? Why? Aww, look at baby Hajime. He's adorable. I love him. I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talent and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy you couldn't even see that? Oh god, like, it's, yeah, apparently I can't speak, but just like, you know, you start this off with a reaffirming of Hajime's self-esteem issues, essentially. You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. Like I said, Hajime's self-esteem issues are kind of an important part of the plot. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh? Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all? As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what that means? What the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation? Even though Chiaki and Monami are gone, our situation doesn't change one bit. Which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of. So they're not World-Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma? However, the Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monami never once denied that. Even if they're our allies, they might not just be our allies. Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation. But if she was still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. Aw, Hajime. I mean, don't worry, I miss Chiaki too. So what should we do? Oh, that's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we're gonna have to do that graduation exam, right? Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better than people dying. You know what? Akane bliss. That's a nice moral. That's a good way to think about it. Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been? Alright, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we might be able to learn something about Hope's Peak Academy, about ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine. Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means. Hell yes! Thanks, Sonia. Thanks, Sonia, for that. He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy, none of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive, just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. Oh wait, Gimster, you haven't played this before? Oh shit. Or crap. Yes, the gamer girl is not here. Oh no, okay. Yeah, it was sad. It was very sad, but yeah. We have to move forward. We've got nothing else we can do. But Monokuma should already know that's what we're thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
No.
So what are we gonna do? Can we start already? But what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building? Even so, I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Okay, I've had a lot of stuff spoiled for me, but I'm still gonna play them. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I mean, I will say, the trial stuff is a lot more fun to play on your own as well. Because, first of all, if you don't necessarily remember all of the answers, then, you have to actually think about it and use logic. Second of all, there's, mini games and gameplay. But I'll just go on ahead for now. Hey, you're already going? Wait, Akane, your shirt! Was that idiot running ahead without being cautious? She obviously isn't thinking about anything. It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives. So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal. Kane already took off on her own. It might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then let's get this over with and go home. I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gymnasium. I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow and then left the gymnasium. Oh, cute. Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia, please don't leave me. I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed, and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more, and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual, peaceful, everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance towards that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. And Ikarushia is back. Or Ikarushia. Oh, and there's the Monokuma. Hello. So yeah, we have the good music again, and just like in the first game, there's kind of nothing to see in the gym. Nothing really to actually interact with. Glitch Monokuma, exactly. I mean, all of the, or at least the hidden Monokumas are kind of somewhat themed. Oh, good night, Alan. They're only like kind of mostly themed after the like the stuff that's happening in the chapter. So this chapter where everything's all glitchy, we have Glitch Monokuma. I guess let's leave the gymnasium. And now we're on the 5th floor. Because, you know, that's what's outside the gym. The 5th floor. Everything is fine. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. So, we are on the 5th floor now. And, okay, we can go into the classrooms and the dojo, it looks like. Actually, how's my pet going? Ah. Oh, interesting though, you can't use the map function though, but you can use the mini-map, so. You have not moved. Hi Sonia, what are you doing? Wait. No, okay. Also, man, you know, I guess the other advantage slash disadvantage slash I don't even know of this is basically like it's the return of Danganronpa, guys. We're back in the chapter 1 environment, which means my computer is barely able to handle it. It's like chapter 2. It's you know, like I noticed, you know, Danganronpa 2 didn't seem to lag as much, and I think maybe it was just, you know, better optimized for the system, and that's my assumption. This hallway, there is a strange feeling to it, no? You can say that. As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement. Is it just me? Yeah, you know, invisible walls. Wait, hang on. That's weird. These ones are white. Oh, or is the green ones that you can... I thought... These ones are white, which says, it makes it imply that you can go in here, but I can't go in this one. And I can't go in this one either. But if we're really in Hope's Peak Academy, there's one thing I'm very curious about. Do you guys remember this classroom? This classroom on the 5th floor. When we saw that we went into this in Danganronpa 1, and it was covered in blood. And it basically implied that lots of people died in that classroom. You wonder if there's a reason why they're hiding that one from us. Why we specifically can't enter that one. But the biolab? That one's white, so maybe we can enter that one? No? Yes? No? No, that's still glitched out. But, God, you know... You gotta love these effects as well. Got like little matrixy kind of green. And I'm leveling up from all of the nice, all of the walking I had to do. Yeah. Alright, so if I can't go through any of those places, it looks like the only... Oh yeah, we've got a nice little don't go this way symbol there. Looks like the only place we can go to is the dojo. Yeah, the garden's all blacked out, so... Yeah, okay, we can go into the dojo. Let's see if we find any clues. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. Yep, it's cherry blossoms. Or, as you might like to call them, they're sakura. There's surveillance. Okay, that's the same. That's the same. Anyway. Obviously, yes, there's the conspicuous book, but that's, you know, let's get more flavor text. The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. The falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Yoko and Pekka were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. That target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a mini-game here. Wait, what am I saying? Everything is fine! The fourth wall is catching on. Oh no, Hajime, quick, stop! Stop before you still can! There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional-looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. There is no... Like I said, this is literally just called... You might as well just call this Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Fourth Wall. There is none. It's a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training? It's armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? Oh no, it's getting worse. Hajime, quick! Hajime has been diagnosed with fourth wall breaking disease. It may be a tasteful sight to see a blooming cherry tree inside a dojo, but in this situation, it just looks bizarre. All right, let's look at the inconspicuous book lying on the ground, like it's just waiting for us to pick it up. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma? Why is a manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with history first, class! Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person! So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. It totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutie character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Sadly, we don't actually see the inside of the manga. If they had done that, that'd be really neat, but that would also probably be a lot of effort, so fair enough. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders in various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of a talent. Monokuma the mangaka, is he better than Toyotaro? Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on Toyotaro. I just kind of, whatever, the manga is a thing. Okay. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes that they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department, who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's Ernest Witch, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that's suddenly cancelled in the middle of its run. Yeah, that's a lot of manga, sadly. Plus these phrases mentioned at the end of the manga. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no. It'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students. Right? That's weird. Oh, you're here again. The thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh? Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird you actually forgot something like that too. What do you want me to say? Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students. Or you willingly seal those memories yourself. Uh-huh. You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it. When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a Reserve Corps student. Like I said, Hajime's self-esteem issues do come into play here. Damn it! What the heck? And we have the Reserve Department. as a truth bullet. Do I get anything new here? No, that's okay. That's all the same. Is that just gonna give me a summary? That didn't really happen? Yeah. Apparently, I completely forgot I was part of the reserve department. The Future Foundation supposedly took away just our school life memories. You know, it's the worst time to be like, hey, Hajime! You know, don't you realize, according to what the Future Foundation said, there should be no reason that you wouldn't remember this. So why don't you remember, Hajime? Don't you think that's weird? Don't you think you're weird? So this Monokuma made a manga of Danganronpa 1, basically, if you got that knowledge from Danganronpa. It's not Danganronpa yet. We are actually, essentially, right now, we're actually talking about backstory before Danganronpa 1. As you know, the reserve course was not a thing in Danganronpa 1. At least in terms of, you know, a plot point that it was mentioned about. Alright, so, okay, I think I remember now. So now that we've gone to that one of the other places should be open to us. Oh, Kazuichi, hello. One of the other places should be open to us. This hallway is kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. I just realized. Hello, floating cube. Hello, floating cube. How are you going? I'm fine. Yeah, okay, that one's okay. Let me just check. So yeah. Biolab's still yeah, Biolab's still closed. All right, classroom time it is. Let's go. Whee! Well, looks like there's another manga for us. But first, let me see if there are any hidden monokumas. I can't see anything. Any hidden monokumas? Doesn't look like it. Clock yet. What time is it right now? We can't see outside, so I don't even know if it's night or day right now. Anyway, wait. Oh, the bars. Anything new from here? To go so far to cover the windows like this? Does he really want to keep us locked inside? But why? Alright, I think that's it. So, let's see what's in this next piece of manga. Yep, this is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. So we're gonna do tomorrow on... I don't think, I probably won't do anything tomorrow. I don't know how... I can't remember how long it actually takes to get through this whole investigation, but... I don't think it's like... It would be like 3.5 hours again, so... Anyway. This one is... Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? Sorry. In hindsight, this whole part of the game could have been really cool if it was non-linear, but I don't know how you'd be able to do it in a way where all the mysteries come in a satisfying way. But it would be pretty neat if you could go to this in any order you wanted. It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. Now that sounds like a very plot-relevant thing. Let's see. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is... As the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all of their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To promote such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origin and identity. Because of that, most students of the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fire of the Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited! Danganronpa Zero! Okay, alright. Well, I think we're gonna have to pause for a second. Well, not really pause, I still have music and whatever, so that doesn't really matter. Anyway, okay, a few things. First of all, hey, Robin being like how Nagito kept rambling about ultimate hope. Yeah, it's interesting. So at this point, there's essentially three, right now, there's like three characters who sort of have that sort of idea of ultimate hope. There's Makoto Naegi, because that's what Hyoko sort of called him and gave him the title of in Danganronpa 1. There's Nagito Komaeda basically saying that he thought that by eliminating despair, he would become ultimate hope. And there's apparently this person called Izuru Kamakura, who we have never met before, and don't worry, that's okay, we're not supposed to have met them before, who was supposedly called ultimate hope because they had so much talent. Now, the reason why I wanted to stop was because Danganronpa Zero. So, Danganronpa Zero is a series of 2 light novels written by Kodaka, who is the main writer for the Danganronpa series. It actually came out, as its name suggests, it's a prequel to Danganronpa 1, and it actually came out before Danganronpa 2. In fact, some of the ideas in Danganronpa 2 got their origins in Danganronpa Zero. Basically, the things that were introduced in Danganronpa Zero were the reserve course, the idea of the reserve course, the idea of the reserve course starting a riot in Hope's Peak Academy because they were upset about how they were treated, and the whole thing about this tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy and Izuru Kamakura. Now, I will tell you right now, though, within the story itself, you don't actually find out any of those answers, really. It revolves around this girl called Ryoko, who has, like, extreme short-term memory loss. And basically, there's this guy called Yasuke, the ultimate neurologist. And it's basically her sort of getting involved in a whole bunch of secret stuff that's going on behind the scenes at Hope's Peak Academy, and sort of finding out about all of this stuff that was happening behind closed doors. But she never actually finds out anything about the incident or about Izuru. She hears that Izuru is this person that everyone is looking for, but at the end they think that they found Izuru, but it turns out that they've gone and they were taken away by the school. So we don't really know exactly. Well, while the light novel does explain some of the stuff about this, at the end of the day, pretty much this is about the same amount of information you get about some of this plot dump than you do if you actually read Danganronpa Zero. Anyway, if you guys ever want to do, if you guys ever want to, see more Danganronpa stuff, I suggest read Danganronpa Zero. Somebody did like a rough translation of the whole thing, and it's on a Google Docs slide somewhere, Google Docs thing somewhere, just for free. It's like there's a PDF of it, so you can probably just read it. Obviously, it's in Japanese. It's never been officially translated, but it's an interesting book. Oh, if you know what the stuff with Ryoko, well, if you know, you know, but obviously I don't want to spoil it. There's a lot of plot twists in Danganronpa Zero, and it's quite fun. It's quite interesting. Anyway, that was my impromptu discussion about talking about Danganronpa Zero. If you're interested, go read it. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it. He always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents? I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department! Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? Oh, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Tragedy of Hope's Peak has been added to Truth Bullets. Anyway, I've learned on the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? Nothing much. I was just explaining Danganronpa Zero and saying that, at the end of the day, you don't really need to know much. Danganronpa Zero doesn't necessarily give you more information, but it was the origin for some of these plot points, but within Danganronpa Zero itself, you don't find out any more than basically Hajime finds out from reading this book. So, a certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Alright, so let's see where we can go next. Is there anyone else around the halls? Oh, crap. Alright, so it looks like I guess we can go to the bio lab. Is it unlocked now? Yes, the bio lab is unlocked now. There we go, it's another manga. Oh, what the hell's with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. I mean, I could, or I could search for hidden Monokumas. Yeah, like the one hiding under the desk. Alright, okay, that's the usual stuff. What about the top? Would you like to see a nice top? This was a plot point in Chapter 3. Or 4? No, I can't remember. Or was it Chapter 5 then? Because there was a top in Chapter 3 and a top in Chapter 5. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourself, will you? Live advice from Hajime Hinata. seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something. Huh? What am I thinking? There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it! The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? Might turn out to be something plain. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. So, this is what's great about this as well. Like, not only are we getting lore about, Danganronpa 2, but we're also getting lore about Danganronpa 1. In Danganronpa 1, we had no idea what the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history actually really was. Here we get to actually find out some of this stuff in more detail. And it wasn't like they were obviously just saving these mysteries for the sequel. It was more just like it didn't really matter. But now we've got a sequel, we might as well go around and explain some of this stuff now. So it just feels like more complete narrative. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized time, where senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfs the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them? Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough! What is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but you did not remember that. Such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible. How many times do I have to tell you? All of the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. Essentially, it's the same situation that the cast in Danganronpa 1 had to face. If the world outside is really destroyed, do we want to go back out there? Or do we want to just stay here on the island where everything's safe? At least we think everything's safe. Who knows? See, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. Tragedies be added to the section of your handbooks. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're highest. Okay, okay. This is something. This is something that definitely makes makes more sense in not necessarily the Japanese version, but like in the original, because the ultimates in the Japanese and added translations, they're called super high school level whatever. So the ultimate despair would just be called super high school level despair. That's why Hajime is saying that means they're just high school students, right? Well, if they actually were able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called ultimates or super high school level or whatever the hell it is. Then other killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Well, I think the only other place we haven't been to at this point that is written in... Oh, okay. Is written in white is the... Not this one. Let me in! Come on, it's plot relevant! Fine, no. I think the glitching is getting worse. And I don't mean that in terms of my computer, I mean... just in general. I forgot. Which classroom were we in last time? I think we're in B, so maybe A? No, we were in this we were here last time, so I'm gonna go back to B. Hiko's here. And Monokuma. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. No, he's not here. Is he in the? He's not in the banisters either. When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Just another day on the internet. I know, like I said, Hajime is very quotable this chapter. It's meaningless to look at the clock. Alright. I guess we have no choice. Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here? Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? I should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up! What did you want to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about ultimate despair! Huh? Ahem! Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally a title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. A high school girl. Lady Junko Enoshima. And there it is. There it is. There she is. You thought maybe Junko has nothing to know? There she is. Junko Enoshima. As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group. Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. I should know. I'm in a Yakuza. There's no way people would join up some fucked up organization created by a high school girl. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that the incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been able to in a position to neutralize the threat? Then what was their purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose. It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about a purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. You know, It's funny you say that, given Nagito. He knows exactly what he's saying, doesn't he? All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Hiroshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair. All in Junko Hiroshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends, and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed that it was something that they had to do. What? There's no way something that crazy is possible. Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days? Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean, final days? What happened to the reserve department? Hey, Ramses, thank you for the raid. You've, I'd say, I'm like in the middle of it, but you haven't really gotten to anything really juicy yet. Basically, just sort of going around saying that lots of bad shit happened at Hope's Peak Academy, and also we're at Hope's Peak Academy. Basically, Monokuma is like, well, you're going to have to graduate soon, but I want to make sure you know about the outside world so you can make an informed decision. So, go around, run around and get some clues, and basically that's what we're doing. Also, yes, we're in the Matrix. Robin, I know I can see the raids because it shows up in my stream manager, but I don't know if that necessarily, it doesn't always show up for other people. So anyway, they fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Great! Sounds wonderful. Mass suicide? Oh, 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. Huh? Is that me? This is happy, joy story time. I don't believe it. There's no way I could believe this. Ultimate despair? Junko Enoshima? Doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Enoshima is already dead. Huh? Ultimate despair has been added to the truth bullet sections of your handbook. And the reserve department has been updated. I will say, if Monokuma is telling the truth, and everybody in the reserve department died or killed themselves, and Hajime was the only survivor, it would probably make a bit more sense as to why he specifically is here. Maybe they just needed Hope's Peak Academy students, and because Hajime was in the reserve department, he technically counted as one. What a surprise! You want to hear about the ultimate despair? Oh no. No, I don't really need you to. Oh god. He just started on his own. Wait. Okay. It's fine already. You don't have to keep explaining. Good part. I'm putting Okay. That was a really good way of doing it. It's like, I just want to see flavor text. What? You want me to repeat all the dialogue? No! Don't repeat the dialogue again! Don't repeat the dialogue again! Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima is really dead? What, you didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life? So, okay. I will say, God, there is totally a it's like I said, the bloody classroom on the 5th floor. So, Fuyuhiko actually explores it, but we don't get to explore it. And hey, Drifting Snow, we don't actually get to explore the bloody classroom. And I'd say there's a reason for that, but I think they're just kind of being, I don't know, ironic. Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing at the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. For a manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead. Turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of the former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy. And she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's limits being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? Students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up! But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost the students that she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. The Hope's Peak Academy tragedy reminds me of the Battle Royale movie from Japan. You know what? It probably was. I'm pretty sure Kodaka said that one of the inspirations for Danganronpa was Battle Royale, so the bloody classroom was probably, it might have also been a Battle Royale reference at the same time, so yeah. For a less weeb reference, the Running Man. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko or making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this really is an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like surveillance cameras during the killing school life? And the killing school life's been added to Truth Bullets. And Junko Enoshima's been updated. Oh, Ultimate Despair, sorry, not Junko Enoshima. Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh? What, do you have a problem with that? No, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time. Oh, okay. So it wasn't supposed to be an ironic thing. The original plan was we were going to go into the bloody classroom and read the other manga. But because Fuyuhiko already read it, and then he told us what happened, we don't need to worry about that. I get it. Oh well, I'll just raise the flag. flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? One step at a time! You're getting closer to clearing my character route! You're not making sense again. Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy! Memory taken away. Yeah. No, I don't need. Wait, no. Okay, I get it. We've looked at all of the dialogue. We've listened to all of the dialogue. Fine, and there's no hidden Monokumas because you're Monokuma. What does Monokuma mean by raising the flag? Oh. That's what he means by raising the flag. He means the exit flag. It changed to a different hallway again. So sudden? What's going on to make something like this happen? No. I've already decided I'm not gonna be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised like something like this. Alright, only 2 areas to investigate this time. Yeah, we can't go that way. And yeah, great. I think the game corruption's getting worse. I guess that's what I love about this chapter. Basically, you may have figured it out at this point. You're going basically down each level of Host Peak Academy. And as you go down more and more and more, the environment becomes more and more corrupted. It's great. It's just a really fascinating idea. Yeah, exactly. You need to uninstall, reinstall DR2. No, but this is part of the game. I think it's just a really fascinating idea for like pacing and whatnot. And Ozymandias, hey! Gotta love this. I know we're at the best part. We're at the best part. Look at that beautiful floating cube with more cubes in it. The cubes are getting more cubier as we get closer and closer to the end. Yeah, I love this part. Also, it helps me get the best music playing. It's just a cube. Jeez, Robin, it's just a cube. You don't need to think about it too much. We call those hypercubes. Oh, okay. Alright, so we will be able to go to the teacher's office eventually, but right now we could go to the music hall. And there's Akane. Akane's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened? Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. What do you mean? Who? I don't know, it's just my gut after all. It's just my gut! But still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Yeah, like I said, I also love the change of being in a 3D environment, which is only the case of the puzzle house. I mean, that's also true. That's the other thing that's unique about it, but in reality, it's almost just like Spike Chunsoft would just being really lazy, and so that way, this way, they could just reuse their old textures, and they didn't have to come up with a new idea for chapter 6. Just reuse their stuff from the last game. And that's the hallway. What else was around here? Oh yeah, the Mastermind's room was around here, remember? Sadly, we can't go into the data lab, but, you know. And there's classrooms, the bio lab, but anyway. The only place that's open is the music room. I remember this room in Danganronpa 1 had almost absolutely no purpose. Yeah, that being said, editing the assets like this make it seem distorted. Yeah, it takes work. Oh, I know. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if you were here last time, but last time we were here... I'm just not going to address that right now. But, you know, last stream I was basically saying that, you know, this is essentially Doki Doki Literature Club before Doki Doki Literature Club even happened. So, you know. Anyway, it looks like the corruption is spreading to the rooms themselves. This looks like the music room. You gotta wonder what Hajime's thinking. I feel like I can see something strange. You know, the monument and the hologram. Things that would always be here in a normal music room. Oh god, wow, it's lagging. I guess that effect must make the game lag out a lot. Wait, what? Oh, that's a surveillance camera. Okay, that's all the same. Exactly, sing us the song of Piano Man. Exactly, can I play the piano? It's a very nice looking grand piano. It might be very valuable. Hibuki might have been able to play this. Aww. Don't worry, I miss Ibuki Miyoda every day. Alright, what do we do? The hologram or the giant... Probably the giant blinking monument. That looks more auspicious. It looks like some sort of monument? Why would there be a monument in a music room? And not just that. The mark engraved in this monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. Interesting, huh? I guess the only other thing to look at is the hologram. What is this? Words are floating in the air! Don't worry, everything's fine. Everything is fine, Hajime. Words just float in the air sometimes. This is perfectly normal. This is like... Yeah, the one example expressed me the most Ace Compact Zero, where they purposely make the HUD seem like distorted analog static. That's way back in the PS2. Wow, that's really cool. That's really neat, actually. Like, you know, it's just funny, because, you know, there's almost... It's not like a genre, but, you know, that kind of idea of... Yeah, like Ramsey's even bringing up Metal Gear Solid 2, which I'm bringing that as well. Yeah, that idea of just distorting the game, making the game look weird, making the game mechanics run differently, to kind of try and make some, you know, present some sort of feeling, some sort of effect, some sort of plot reason. And Danganronpa 2, I'd say, you know, it can easily fit alongside those lists of those games. I think it does it pretty well. Exactly, fish and nailed. I need to play Metal Gear Solid 2. It's in my list of things to play one day, maybe. The floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko and Ashima rallying them. In a worst-case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we are still investigating the details of their origin, and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating the matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been complete. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy? 15 students. Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. The Academy survivors. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Big Academy, and they took us in to protect us. Sorry I'm late. Time to make love to Hajime. Excuse me. That's every time. I mean, don't worry. You just missed, you know, the little bit about spoiler-kun, obviously. So, because that happens early on, but you know, spoiler-kun. I'm not going to say anything more. If that's true, and yeah, boy howdy Hajime, you're so right. Oh god, yeah. I saw a really funny thing on Twitter the other day. A really funny tweet, and it was basically just like, you know, someone from the hi, it's me from the future, like, you know, and they're basically talking about all of these things of why, like, you know, look at all of these characters in Super Smash Brothers are gonna be in Smash Brothers. Banjo-Kazooie, Terry from Fatal Fury, Steve from Minecraft, all of this other stuff. All of these guys are gonna be in Smash. And then the person from the past is like, why are you wearing a mask? And then they're just like, don't worry about it. The world isn't normal indeed. Like, it's kind of funny now. Oh, I mean, oh yeah, weird backstory for Nagito. Yeah, you mean that part where he has Junko and Ashima's hand attached to his arm? It's fine. He cut off his hand and replaced it with Junko's dead hand. Nagito was totally fine. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, right, yeah. Like, it's funny because, well, not funny, but, like, kind of depressing, of course. Despair. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh! Oh, shit! That's another Metal Gear Solid. Oh my god, it is a Metal Gear Solid reference! You are totally right! I know that part of that. I mean, I don't know, like, I know random bits of synopses of that. Yes! I will say, I don't think Junko Enoshima's hand controls Nagito. No, I don't think so. That being said, no, I would not be surprised if Kodaka was inspired by Metal Gear Solid 2. Again. Anyway. Still remember back in Brawl's days, it was unthinkable or laughable or cringe for Cloud to join Smash. I mean, I still remember the early Brawl Taunts, right? That was, hang on. Was Brawl Taunts Curbifer or Egoraptor? I can't remember. These early Newgrounds figures are all just blurring together for me. Anyway, but yeah, they were like, you know, there's the whole thing about us. You know who should be in Smash? Should be Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Anyway. Get back to the game, maybe? Okay, it was Curbifer. Alright. But if that's true, Chiagi should have made that clear to us. No. As long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko and Ashima are making us go through this. Yeah, remember when Kira Buckland was still Rina-chan? Is Kira Buckland in... Yeah, I think Kira Buckland's also in Danganronpa now, right? I think she's in the dub. She's Hyoko. And I think she's also, Kirumi in V3. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now she's the shit... Okay. Now she's the shit Lord Loli in this. Exactly. Man, right? Who wants to guess what's happening right now? It's Doki Doki Literature Club, right? Also, this caught my attention in the email too. And yeah, and she's 2B, indeed. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there are still so many mysteries. That's what I love. It's just so beautiful and gradual. Like, I guess that's the thing. You know, Chapter 6 in Danganronpa 1, in a way, I guess, it was a bit more open, a bit less linear. But I guess because this one is so linear, you can only go to certain places in certain order. Orders they really do it, so they're just like one after the other. It explains all of the mysteries in a very specific order, and it's great. You can put it all together, and it's great. Anyway, I think, yeah, that's everything. Good night, Gimstar. Sorry about... Yeah, I'm gonna say you're missing the... No, I mean, you know what? It's not too bad. There are some cool parts, though. As some of you, as you guys who've played before know. But we're gonna get to the good stuff's coming soon. I think it was the Teacher's Lounge. Yeah, Teacher's Lounge should be unlocked now. Oh yeah, Kerber throws Violet and Fire Emblem before getting patched out for breaking NDA. Yeah, that. And, there was that, and then there was, I don't want to say, Kerber got cancelled, but he was apparently he apparently was very kind of emotionally abusive to a lot of his former partners, and so it's a bit of a, So yeah, that's gonna be a bit, we'll see, I don't know. Anyway, okay, so you're still gonna play this, so you'll see it eventually. It's true. I mean, this is probably way more fun as well to experience it yourself, especially this whole glitching stuff. Anyway, let's go. This feels different from a classroom. It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has that stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that.
Yeah.
More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. Wow. What is truth? What is lies? No, that's the next game. Well, actually, technically, Monokuma, what the hell are you doing there? Yeah, find out next time on Danganronpa V3. It's all a lie! I think that's 4. Am I 3 or 4? I don't know. I'm getting close to this. Even in the Matrix, my man's Kazuichi still thirsts for Sonya. Listen, one of the most powerful things alive is the thirst of prepubescent boys. Damn it, I'm really worried. What if something happens to me when Miss Sonya isn't looking? This guy is so useless sometimes. Wow. Alright, good night, Drifting Snow. Hajime. You should be a bit kinder on Kazuichi sometimes, but... God, do you remember when you could... They haven't discovered that part yet, no. They've only discovered... We've heard of a single mention. Flowers on top of the desk? Plus, they look strange to me. Are my eyes just tired? Alright, so we've got... Anything else? I guess not. I guess we're just gonna have to... Alright, the list of subjects, blackboard, and there's the holo... I guess I'll do the blackboard. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that are names I've seen before. Hey, look! It's me! Oh, also... Oh, dude. Oh. Alright. An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says... Hope's Peak Academy founder, Izuru Kamakura? The founder of Hope's Peak Academy? And his name, Izuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery. The Academy's founder. Yes, exactly. It is the same picture from chapter 4 in the funhouse. Yeah. Okay, so here, alright, so we've got list of subjects. Hajime Hinata, Chiaki Nanami. Wait, hang on, let me count, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hang on. Okay, that's interesting. Because they said there were 15 survivors of Hosting Academy, but they also know that Chiaki Nanami is the trader, and Chiaki Nanami works for the Future Foundation, so I guess they must have put Chiaki in here as well, even though they know that she's different. She's not one of those survivors. I guess, I mean, I'm just curious exactly, you know, who exactly would be reading this. Who actually wrote this, because I'm honestly not sure. Thinking about the lore, I don't really know who actually wrote this, but... Anyway, let's look at the newspaper. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hyoko Sayonji is written there. What is this newspaper? Ooh, what is this? It says Miss Hyoko Sayonji, but this can't mean the same Hyoko, right? I mean, the Hyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike. It was pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper, in a way I can see the resemblance to Hyoko, but her height and figure, it's too different from the Hyoko we knew. What does this mean?
What?
This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hyoko's older sister or something? No, it says Hyoko Sayonji here. Oh, then Hyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name. That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. That's not Hyoko. But did you ever hear her mention an older sister? No, it's not like I was that close to her or anything. She doesn't have an older sister! Hyoko is the Sayonji family's only daughter. Whoa, this Hyoko is pretty hot, said Hajime. That's the joke! Oh no, Hyoko grew up and has boobs and looks like an adult. Oh no, she's hot, but she probably still has the same awful personality. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? That is still too much like of a resemblance. That's Hyoko! Huh? What are you saying? Hyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt? What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt. Well, regardless, all the clues I provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair. What the heck? This is the truth? If this is the truth, then the Hyoko in this newspaper... Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Hyoko when she's already dead? Why does this even exist? Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh? How long have we been here? We'll see, won't we? Everything will be revealed by the end of this chapter. If it says subjects, maybe that means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hyoko's body? Oh, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it? What's going on? It better not have anything to do with time travel. We find out more and more, and somehow things become less and less clear. There are letters floating in the air, like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. Steins Gate? I actually don't remember how old, if Steins Gate had come out by this point. Or even if they would reference that. But I think it's Spike Chunsoft as well as publish it at least, so. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko Enoshima, the fact remains that they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there is still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is an order to kill them? It doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Remnants of despair. Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime! You shall now go on to the next stage! Next stage. Now, don't tell me this killing's gonna have some psychotic conclusion like it's some experiment. Yeah, well, I mean, the flags have been raised. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah. Damn it, not again! The hallway is different from last time. I guess when that flag Monica mentioned is raised, I moved to a different hallway than the last. Like I said, it's literally changing the ending flags. I mean, the exit flags. But how can he do that? Now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it's just gonna waste my energy. And like I said, as we get lower and lower, everything becomes more and more and more and more and more and more corrupted looking. Yeah, man, you guys, do you remember floor 3 with the art lab and the physics lab and the wireframes? I remember the wireframe pillars, don't you? They're very nice. I love the part where they just turn into wireframes. You get to see how they're modeled, right? Oh, okay, that's a Kojima thing. Somebody boost Monokuma's Wi-Fi. And Super FX chip, but good. This is exactly what I wanted. Everybody making stupid jokes about this. Anyway, yeah, right. So we have to go to the rec room. So, it's a pity I can't go into the art room. I also don't remember which direction the rec room is because I am apparently very stupid. I know where the Super FX chip is, yes. Oh. I wish this had 3D character models to have them T-pose. Oh, that would have been great. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the floating windows. This is fine. This is fine. What do you mean your windows don't float in the air? Is there anything else around here? Okay. Did that window just pop into existence? Oh, yep, it's popping into existence. You know, if anything, I kind of almost wish that this, I don't know, there were more Easter eggs around here. It does its job, but like you could put so many Easter eggs in a scenario like this. Just anywhere, you know, just go to any of the random places in DL1 and you just get stupid glitchy Easter eggs. But I do admit, I think the floating windows are pretty cool. Alright, what are we gonna find out this time? There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. It's hard to think of a room like this actually exists inside the school. And you know, the billiard balls are floating, but don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, actually no, everything's floating. You know, don't your billiard tables ever just start floating in the air? Anyway, there's that, and there's those two things, the hologram and that. What else around here? Oh, the chair! The sofa! It's a nice firm-looking leather sofa. It looks like it'd be comfortable for anyone to sleep on. There's a lot of different magazines here. Fashion, motorcycles, martial arts, sports, computer, travel. There's even a magazine about cameras. Mahiri would have been happy to see this. Oh, you can't look at the locker, but you can look at the dartboard. There's a dartboard, but is this still a school, right? Or did Monokuma just randomly make up this place? Alright. What's this file? It's a file with Hopespeak Academy seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously Monokuma is responsible. God, Hajime, I love you. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hopespeak Academy has conducted vigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan... I can't read, apparently. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the words true hope left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Whatever the fuck that means. Hopespeak Academy was behind something like that? I don't really get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? Hope Cultivation Plan. Alright, looks like the only thing left now is the new hologram. This hologram again. What's this one say? It looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we are unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others. If a school or an organization has a hope cultivation plan, I think we can safely label them as a cult. It's not a cult, they're just high on hope, you know? I just want to believe in hope, you know? So we have decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. Remnants of Despair has been updated. And the Academy survivors. It says here they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on this island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up. Hi, my, Hajime! If you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse! It's your fault! What is this hologram thing anyway? It's exactly what it looks like! They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them. You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents. Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all. There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. I think that's... He didn't say he mentioned he raised the flag, but it doesn't seem like there's anything else in this room. So I guess, let's see. Let's see if we go to the second floor now. Yeah, we are in the second floor. Looks like I'm in a different hallway again. I'm pretty much used to it by now, but even so. What is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, this is just totally disconnected from reality. So yeah, we're upside down now. This is why I love the pacing of this. You know, you go down every floor. Each floor, so it just gets more and more corrupted. And now, not only are we upside down, but the music has turned 8-bit. It's great. I like I said, the pacing is amazing. I love. It's. Just as you keep going, as you get closer to the truth, everything just starts breaking around you. And hi, Akane. Have you noticed that we're standing upside down? Can we, like, manipulate gravity or something? It's close. It's very close. Something's coming. Akane's switching her nose and examining her surroundings. They're definitely real close. At least that's what my gut is telling me. Then answer this with your gut. Is it an enemy or an ally? Let's see. My gut feeling is... They're both! He's right. They're both. But both? What do you mean? I don't know any details. It's just my gut after all. Well, that's true, I guess. Okay, well, whatever is coming is very close. Okay, so apparently we can go to the library. This is the best floor, of course, because we're upside down. Right, what's in the library? I can't remember what's in the library. Oh, actually, I do know what's in the library. Never mind. Yep, you know, this must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here too. I should hurry up and find it. Everything is fine. The floor is turning into the Matrix, but besides that, everything's fine. Let me see if there are any Monokumas around. Any Monokumas? Doesn't look like it. Just hang on, it's just the monitor. Okay. It looks like there's nothing else in this room besides another email. Apparently Monokuma's been hacking the future. Wait, I saw this hologram again. Must be another one of the Future Foundation's emails. I should read it. There's no doubt it's another clue. To Future Foundation 14th Division, Makoto Naegi. And the music's starting, You know shit gets real when this happens. Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a serious act of treason. Do you understand? Why are you protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope to the world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with her ideals, right? The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape. This email is addressed to Makoto Naegi. I just realized I think that might be the first time the game actually mentions him by name, as opposed to just, slightly referencing him. But he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Email to Makoto Naegi. And the remnants of despair has been updated. Let me just check. Okay, so there wasn't there isn't actually a Monokuma then. You can't move this. I thought there might have been. I might have seen something, but I guess it wasn't. Things are getting a bit more complicated, aren't they? It's not just anymore. Now there's different members of the Future Foundation that apparently seem to have different ideas. What is true hope anyway? Is it even real? Is it even something you can get? That's the kinds of questions that we and Hajime Hinata are probably asking themselves while walking on the ceiling. Oh no, okay. We're not going into the classroom? Okay, never mind. Now we're entering the first floor. Great! Oh shit, is my mic screwed up again? I hate it when that happens. Mic. The game is infecting even the mic. Oh yeah, totally. Oh man, okay. Great. Okay, if that was actually happening, that would have been amazing though. Anyway, didn't I walk into a classroom? I don't really get it, but this looks like the laundry room. There's no use worrying about it, but I was in a school and now I'm suddenly in a laundry room. There you are. Yes! I got the achievement! That is it! That is the last hidden Monokuma in the whole game! I only missed one! And then I went back and got it because I wanted to get all of them in one playthrough. Yeah, I know I got it because I got a achievement on my Steam page, so I don't actually remember what happens if you go back. I'll probably do it afterwards. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me just open... I'll open that clip, and then I'll watch it after I finish this. Hang on, let me get the chat. Where's the chat gone? Alright, everything's fine now. Okay, so all we've got is the surveillance camera. So now I don't need to worry about hidden Monokumas anymore. So all I've got is... Oh, the tablet PC. Ooh, an iPad for me? It's like a tablet computer. It looks like the power is on too. Is this the next clue? I picked up the tablet and immediately started examining it. Neo World Program. Neo World Program? This world, Neo World. I seem to recall hearing it and seeing it a few times already. Hey, Australia! Hi, Australia! I mean, actually, I think that's supposed to be centering in on Japan, but still. Hi, it's me! The Neo World Program has another name. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading, apparently. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. The Neo World Program is built with the most recent psychotherapy technology and administrative software. To develop the Neo World Program, individuals such as the Ultimate Programmer, the Ultimate Neurologist, and the Ultimate Therapist were among the many talented people whose research results were utilized. By mounting a device to the cranium, the Neo World Program allows its subject to experience a synthetic virtual world. Additionally, the Neo World Program has another feature. It can replace memories formed in the real world with information contained in the synthetic virtual world. Therefore, it is possible to undo trauma sustained in the real world through the use of the virtual world. However, this device is for psychotherapeutic purposes only. Any other use is expressly forbidden. Though it is highly effective in treating brainwashing, abusing the device risks total personality destruction. Thus, extreme care must be exercised when operating this program. Slowly, everything around me turned black. Synthetic virtual world? Program? A feeling of emptiness, like everything is being tainted. A feeling of weakness, like the world is collapsing beneath my feet. Everything is starting to feel meaningless. The desperate attempts, the sad goodbyes, the conflicts, the trust I felt until now, it's all disappearing until all I feel is despair. Ah! I screamed loudly, as if I was confirming the sound of my own voice. There's no way I can accept this. I'm starting to accept that. There's no way. Something as crazy as this actually exists. You gotta raise the flags more in order to clear my character route. Now then, despair is waiting for you. Impossible. This is impossible. It's all made up. Everything is all made up. Made up? Including me, too? Your world program has been added to the truth bullet section. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, have you guys figured it out yet? What this island really is. I think Hajime has. Okay, I did not realize that part. Hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy the Killing Skull trip? By the way, did you guys remember the speech I made at the beginning? From this point on, I promise you a world that truly deserves to be called a game. You guys are the only ones watching this who can save them. The end of the world is nigh. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it heart-throbbing? Look forward to it! Oh god, that's really fucking... Okay, so, the thing is, basically what he was saying is that, yeah, the very first Monokuma Theater in Danganronpa 2 says something that this is an experience that would truly be called a game. When he said that, he apparently meant it completely literally. So, hello, sorry, Hikaru. So, guys, this is the plot twist. We're in a video game. Well, we're in a simulation, a virtual reality simulation world, but essentially, we're in a video game. Why do you think that Chiaki Nanami was the ultimate gamer? Because this whole thing was just a game. This hallway. When we first arrived here, I walked down this hallway from the classroom to get to the gym. I don't really see a resemblance, but... And yep, this place now it's become even more glitchy. Alright, it looks, oh shit. You know where the place we have to go last is. That place with the grinning Monokuma icon. Alright, okay, so... It's like, at the same time, it's sort of like the game is being destroyed around us. But now, also, like, now Hajime's sort of aware of what the hell's going on. It's like, it makes sense that it's almost like, since he knows that this is all a game, this is the floor that fucks with me. Yeah, it's a bit hard to really see where the walls are when they disappear for a bit, so... Anyway, let's talk to Sonia. Sonia, please tell me please don't tell me you're just part of the game too. Are you familiar with the placebo effect and the nocebo effect? Huh? The placebo effect is when your health improves after taking a fake medicine that you believe is real. And the nocebo effect is the exact opposite. I know, right? I've been making this joke the whole time. This is basically Doki Doki Literature Club before Doki Doki Literature Club. Monica should definitely cross over with this game. Which means, as long as the human brain controls all other bodily functions... If the brain believes something is real, it will become real. Why would you bring that up all of a sudden? Huh? I am not sure. I do not fully understand. What the heck? Sonia, don't tell me it's gotten to you too! But then again, we were breaking the fourth wall during some of this. Monokuma, what are you doing here? That's where we need to go, so I guess we're at the right place. The moment that you discovered that the truth was a lie, all hope will disappear. I'm scared as to what's in this classroom, but I guess we have no choice. I mean, I can check to see if the trial grounds building is still locked off, so we have to go in here first. Let's go, guys. Oh, great, and now it's monochrome with a big object. They don't even bother with trying to give a proper description. It's just... Wait, what? Hang on, what does it say? Generating monocores will biored in 4 seconds. The renderer, Zetsubo. Hang on, Zetsubo something is not a registered renderer. I swear, somebody with programming knowledge, man, it'd be great if somebody, like, as an Easter egg, tries to figure out exactly what this is trying to mean. Update, renderer UI, create world mode, island 00, create Kibogami Gakuen passage 11. Kibogami Gakuen is, Kibogami is the Japanese way thing for Host Peak Academy. Build classroom, pop up something. Zetsubo renderer. Despair. Zetsubo is Zetsubo, so it's renderer. Okay, this is the despair renderer is apparently the thing. Seems like the basic structure for a game loop. Okay, cool. But you know me, if I see flavor text, I want to understand the flavor text. What do you say here, Hajime? Anything? Even if I know what time it is right now, what good would that do me? This is all just a fucking video game! There's supposed to be a window here, right? Is my memory wrong or something? Maybe there never were any windows, and this is actually right. I think Hajime is starting to get. I think we need to get this over and done with before Hajime starts getting an existential crisis. This is so messed up. All the things I'm seeing? What's real? What should I believe in? Damn it, the surveillance camera is so messed up. Everything is messed up. Or is it? There you go. So now that Hajime knows that it's a video game, even that aspect of it, the dialogue changes. Let's go. Let's see what the giant big object is. Ready for fan service! Is this floating? That's impossible. There's no way something this big would be floating like this. But what in the world is it? And the moment I looked at that object... It's him. Best boy. Best boy is back. Everyone. Fujisaki Chihiro, age something, height something, weight something, not female. Error, no identifier, anyway. If this was a video game, then how come there's now bonus level? Checkmate. Welcome. Welcome to the Neo World program. A person? A floating person is talking to me. Who is it? No, is this even a person in the first place? I'm not quite a person. I'm simply an artificial intelligence program. It would make me happy if you called me Alter Ego. That is the name my master gave me when he created me. It can talk! But what are you? Alter Ego? Artificial intelligence program? I am the master program behind the Neo World program. I'm responsible for creating and overseeing this world. However, only the observer has the authority to directly influence you guys. I can't actually exert much influence. In fact, my existence is one that you don't normally meet. I'm sort of like an apartment manager or something. I may oversee the entire apartment building, but I lack the power to manage individual rooms. But the virus has infected everything I'm supposed to be managing. And because of that, this world I'm managing is acting very peculiar. Oh, hold on! My brain can't follow what you're saying. Let me gather my thoughts first. Damn it, it's that feeling from earlier again. This floating, like my feet are hovering above the floor. It's like I can't feel my feet or the ground. Like I can't even believe my own existence. Hey, you should know, right? Where is this place? Tell me, what is the Neo World program? The Neo World program has omitted the data collection procedure for shaping the entire world. As such, only the data we collected during the experimental stage is being utilized. Specifically, that means the data detailing Jabberwock Island, where this research facility is located. That is why the previous Jabberwock Island cityscape was restored. Ergo, if I am to answer your question, where is this place? The answer would be mostly Jabberwock Island. Certain portions of it are different depending on the circumstances. For example, this school you're in. It appears this space is entirely under the virus's influence. That's probably why I'm appearing before you too. However, even without the virus, these circumstances are a bit unnatural. It seems the launch was rushed, and because of that, there wasn't enough time to collect any data. I'm sorry, I don't really know the circumstances of the outside world. After all, I'm simply The overseer of the Neo World program. Well, as in... Okay, I'm thinking about it. Okay, it could theoretically be that the virus essentially, that you know, when the bomb happened and the world just kind of exploded, that the virus changed it into Host Peak Academy. But he also implied that like he just like inserted Host Peak Academy into the ancient ruin. He just kind of inserted the whole thing into there. So I don't know which one is which, but either way, so, you know, because the thing is, well, also, in Chapter 5, Nagito mentioned he went to the ancient ruin, and all there was were some old memories, implying that, you know, he had seen the Host Peak Academy was still there when he was around in Chapter 5 before the bomb blew up. So it's all weird and ambiguous, and in fact, maybe they're all just plot holes, but anyway. The actual details don't really matter. Why it looks like Hope Peak Academy is basically just because fan service. Also, they can reuse old locations and whatnot. Most of its words, I understood what they meant, but I couldn't understand what was being said. There was no way for me to acknowledge it as the truth. It would make much more sense if this was a fictional world. I mean... Wait, are you saying this world is a fictional world? I feel I can't believe what's going on here. This missing sense of reality. All the mysteries, all the truth, they're all just fiction. Is that... Even so, I need to know. I need to know what this world is. Hey, can you tell me? Hey, can you tell me? Oh, as in, he thought that, then he said it. What was the Neo World program used for in the first place? The Neo World program serves only one purpose. It is used to make the real world a splendid one. I guess you could say it's a program for creating hope. A program for creating hope? But the fact that we're here, and the fact that we don't have our memories, that's all the program's fault, right? Deleting memory is the first step towards replacing memory. Replacing memory data is one of the features of the Neo World program. With the installed memory control unit, it is possible to remove any time period you set it to. And from there, you upload the memories obtained in the virtual world. Removing memories of any time period you set it to? So Monokuma was right. We did lose our school memories. But why? Why us? Why were our school memories taken away? There's a reason for that, right? That is a mystery to me too. Booting the program on the survivors of Host Peak Academy while it's still in its experimental stage. I'm sure there was a very good reason. But unfortunately, I don't know what's happening in the outside world. I'm sorry. Why are you saying Mikan, Ramses? Have you realized something? I feel like deleting memory and replacing memory is less helpful and more horrifying? Well, I mean, it is horrifying, but, like, you know, within the context of this game, and in fact within the context of, basically, the idea is essentially, if you've gone through a really messed up, traumatizing experience that has basically given you major PTSD, if you could find a way to erase that memory and replace it with something that will hopefully make you mentally stronger, that's kind of the idea of it. It's essentially, yeah, because she's all this. Oh yeah, you mean that thing with the remembering disease and Mikan remembered? You know what, we'll get back to that later. While he's a hack for the most part, Nomura actually tackles it well in Chain of Memories. Oh yeah, right. Kingdom Hearts. And memories. Memories is a big thing in Kingdom Hearts, actually. But yeah, most of the time it's just like a buzzword, like just like light and darkness and hope and despair. Are you saying we're lab rats? That's the only thing I can think of. It sounds like we're just lab rats. The Future Foundation did that to us? But they're trying to save the world, right? Or is the Future Foundation not our ally? I'm sorry, I can't provide that much help. If only I was more reliable. I wouldn't have lost my authority to a virus like this. All these new words make my head feel like it's about to burst. Can you tell me more about the Observer and that virus? Well, for this session, the Neo World program was programmed to house 15 people along with 2 monitors. 2 monitors? Yeah, they were disguised as a teacher and one of the students. They were intended to guide the participants in this way. By the way, the observer in the teacher role has been given the authority to influence you all, but the observer in the student role was not. They weren't given any special authority at all, so they'd seem the same as everyone else. What kind of authority does the teacher role have? As an example, the teacher creates the rules of this world and manages them. If the teacher is properly managing the rules they've created, there is no risk of abuse. But because of the virus infecting everything, that has changed. It changed this world where violence shouldn't have existed in the first place. The Neo World program would have promised eternal peace. But just like the outside world, it's become a world filled with violence and death. What is that virus? I don't really know the details behind its true identity, but that function is beyond my capabilities. No matter how much I try to stop it, it behaves as if it already knows what I'm attempting to do. In the end, it stole the portions of my abilities which contain the authority to build the world. It was like it was a grandmaster chess player. I desperately tried to fight back so it wouldn't have complete control. But even so, a portion of the world has been modified at its convenience. She's probably talking about Monokuma Rock and the Funhouse. Based on what she's saying, it sounds like she's on the receiving end of a one-sided attack. Also, yeah, I realize, yeah, obviously Hajime is misgendering Chihiro right now because he doesn't know. But Alter Ego should be an impressive artificial intelligence that the Future Foundation created. I can tell that just by communicating with her. Which means this supposed virus is so smart that it surpasses this Alter Ego? If so, does that virus possess an artificial intelligence just like her? Damn it, what the heck? An artificial intelligence waging an attack against another one? That's so freaking irritating. But how did that virus infect the Neo World program? The Neo World program exists in isolation. It's impossible it was infected through a network. I'm fairly certain someone physically uploaded it. I'd like to mention that by this logic, Monami made the rule that if someone physically steals her wand in this world, they get complete control, which is a very odd way to secure your own power. I don't think that was what the role... Honestly, in all honesty, I think that was almost like metaphorical, as in like, basically Monokuma already had stolen Monami's abilities, but she hadn't realized up until he showed that he had the ability to destroy her magic stick. That's what I assume actually happened. That almost like the whole fight thing was basically like just a metaphor for what was actually happening in the computer program. Based on purely principles, I'm a purist when it comes to memories. Your experiences are what made you you, so if you replace them, you're stealing what made you you. It's, well, yeah, it's basically an extreme moral dilemma, of course, that yeah, because obviously memories aren't always the best things. Some memories make you worse people. It's the issue. Anyway, so now we just mentioned that bombshell that somebody physically put that thing into the program. Physically? Perhaps someone secretly brought an external memory drive containing the virus into the facility and directly uploaded it into the main computer where the Neo World program is installed. Based on my calculations, that's most likely what happened. It was brought to the Future Foundation's facility? But the only person who could enter that facility is someone who is a member of the Future Foundation. Damn it, what am I thinking? Why am I assuming that what I just heard is the truth? Why am I assuming that everything is a lie? Oh, Hajime, poor thing. Observers has been added to the truth. If you had any questions as to who the observers are. And the world program has been updated. But it's true that the virus is powerful and that I'm completely overwhelmed by it. But I'm still able to defend the essential areas, so it has a limit too. A limit? If it took over an observer, then it has to follow the rules of an observer. Such as, in order to end the program and release everyone, I need to follow the correct procedure and... Okay, even if you're just a god in the machine, that's enough hints from you! God damn it. God damn, I get it. Yeah, it's a Deus Ex Machina. Look, your hero's alive. There's an artificial intelligence to save everyone. And yeah, anyway. If you're gonna say something more, suppose that you exist between life and death. The death of yourself is inevitable. If so, it can be parallel to the development based on the definition of existence that constitutes the relationship. From there, the paradigm change results by being cut off rapidly. It causes a situation when your own existence is unobservable and accelerates and crosses with the joint ownership of the world in a situation from the context invites your death. What do you mean? The game is fine. Death. Hey? Death. Oh god damn. Is this supposed to be a jump scare? And I probably would have been jump scared by the sudden inverted Monokuma. Okay, and the screen is flickering. Death. Oh, what the heck? What just happened? You're right there, aren't you? Someone is right there, right? Huh? Who are you? Are you different from the earlier one? Maybe he can't hear my voice from this side? I'm currently talking to the world through Alter Ego. Ever since you guys vanished into that space, the video's feedback has been pretty distorted. But even so, we were forced to watch you this entire time. Huh? The things you guys were forced to do, we were forced to watch it. Forced to watch us? I really want to save you right away, but because of the virus's interference, I couldn't. Our orders are no longer being accepted, including shutdown requests. The Neo-World program is beyond our control now. In that world, that person created an independent country that doesn't accept outside interference. But Alter Ego created an opportunity for me to speak to you directly. If this means that's working, then it means that the person I need to talk to is right there. I hope. It looks like this guy can't even hear me or see me. Just, who is this guy anyway? Is he our ally? Since there's no time, I'm going to say what I need to say and believe you're there listening to me. That's right, people were forced to watch Sonya and Chiaki be naked. How terrible. I mean, Temri boy, you know that joke in chapter 6, right? I did a lot of disgraceful things with those cameras. But first, I should apologize to everyone. I know apologizing won't help, but we didn't imagine something like this would happen. We never expected such an atrocious virus was lurking inside the Neo-World program. But that's entirely our fault. It's our responsibility for not realizing it until it was too late. But it's not just the virus either. I can't say for sure that the program didn't have any problems in the first place. To tell you the truth, I was unsure about whether or not to run the program on you guys. But this was the only way to save you all. I wanted to save you guys. Save us? What did he want to save us from? Why would this save us? You've already seen the password to enter the graduation exam ground, right? You know, 11037? 11037. That's the number we found in Nezumi Castle. The door to the ancient ruin was supposed to open after you had all finished gathering the hope fragments. From there, you guys were supposed to challenge the graduation exam. However, I prepared that password just in case something went wrong. Like I said earlier, I had my doubts that this program was perfect. Even if the chance was slim, I thought the observer might end up going rogue. That's the reason I left that 11037 password in a place where the teacher role would not be able to go. I never thought that Nagito, who saw it first, would erase that password. Anyway, I'm also the person who set the password to that number. That number contains a secret. Someone close to me left that number to save me when I was in a dilemma. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm entrusting that will to you all. I've entrusted it to your future. But that person is trying to abuse the graduation exam. I'm sure they are going to crush you with despair using the graduation exam that's waiting for you. But I want you guys to endure it without giving up on hope. I want you guys to withstand it until I get there. Because I have a secret to defeat them. Does this mean he has a secret plan to defeat Monokuma? In a worst-case scenario, when an observer who has the role of teacher goes rogue, I've prepared a hidden command to use at the graduation exam site. It's the forced shutdown sequence. Forced shutdown sequence? And that's also why, you know, how it was like, the password's 11037? Yeah, there's a reason the password was 11037. Because Makoto Naegi specifically set it to that. It's also a very sweet thing as well, because if you look at basically the context of it is essentially, if you remember the end of Chapter 1 of Danganronpa 1, it's essentially where Makoto didn't know whether Sayaka left that dying message to save him from being framed, or because she just wanted to get back at Leon for killing him. But the way he puts it like this it implies that he hopes to believe that at the end of the day, Sayaka felt sorry for her actions and wanted to save him. Even a teacher's authority can't stop that command. It's a way to end this that you guys can choose on your own, independently of the observer. Which means even if they stole the teacher's authority, they shouldn't be able to stop it. If you use that, you guys will win. However, in order to start the forced shutdown sequence, you need more than half the number of people. And in order to do that, I need to somehow get that number. Oh no. Makoto? Death. Death. Death, 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 death. What was that just now? Hey, Hajime! What was that weirdness just now? Nothing really. I see. Oh well, anyway, that's all the hints you're gonna get. If that no good artificial intelligence tells you any more useless stuff, I'm gonna butt in again! Did Monokuma not notice what just happened? It's been a while since I've spoken at length, but it was important to talk to you. It was worth waiting a long time here. Hey, about that guy just now. There shouldn't be anything else for you to ask me. I see. It'd be bad if Monokuma overheard us. That means Monokuma doesn't know about the conversation I had with that guy just now. You guys have a weapon. A very powerful weapon. It all depends on how you guys use that weapon. The only thing I can do is prevent the virus's invasion with all my might so you guys can use that weapon. The rest is up to you all. Do your best. Do our best. Huh. But what do we have to do our best at? The mystery is getting solved. I'm finally starting to see the truth. But what are we supposed to do when that truth is really a lie? We know we're working towards a conclusion that nobody wants to hear. A very powerful weapon. A gun. God, I just want to say, I love this final part, essentially. It basically, it's like despair, but there's also hope. It's like, we know that we're basically working towards the final showdown with Monokuma. And now we know about this. We know that Monokuma is essentially a all-powerful computer virus that, like, has total control of parts of this world that we live in. But, at the same time, we get Chihiro Fujisaki and Makoto Naegi basically saying, no, there is still one weapon you have, and you can use that to fight back against this computer virus. Even if this is all just fake, it's like, oh, it just hypes you up, you know? Like, as opposed to just being like, oh, you know, normally when you're saying, oh, it's the final battle between hope and despair, and you don't really understand it, but now you're like, you can kind of feel this battle. Like, you have this battle where, like, we want to get out of here, and we want to stop people from dying, and we want to stop Monokuma from taking over this entire program, and if we have that kind of power, us as just regular people. So good! Anyway, let's continue. But still, do we really need to work hard and do our best? Is there really a reason to do our best? If everything was a lie, then isn't everything just meaningless? It's the same for the killings, too. Even though we had to experience something as painful as that, something as tragic as that, wouldn't all that be meaningless, too? When the world is flipped over and becomes so irrational, sometimes literally in some cases, the world got flipped over. What am I supposed to do? 11037 has been added to the truth bullets section. And the shutdown sequence. There shouldn't be anything else for you to ask me. You guys have a weapon. A very powerful weapon that you can use to defeat an enemy that you have no other way of beating. It all depends on how you guys use that weapon. The only thing I can do is prevent the virus. Yep. So, do your best. Do our best, huh? It's so good! I love it! Like, it's so good! That it's, what was I gonna say? But like, you know, like, I think what makes this better than even all of the other stupid meta jokes and kind of stuff like this is, you know, it's not, at this point now, it doesn't feel like you're just being carried along by the whims of like a haunted computer virus that's just making you despair. There's essentially essentially they're giving you the power to fight back. Fight back against this computer virus, against this game, against everything. What exactly the shutdown sequence entails, we'll get to that in Chapter 6. But, just the idea that this isn't, like, you are essentially fighting against the game and that you can potentially win it, it makes it so, like, it makes you so pumped up to get to this graduation sequence. You're like, yeah, I want to enact this plan. I want to get out of this program, get to the real world, whatever we are, and save everyone. And, you know, stop despair, find hope, stop despair. It's so great. Anyway, Ozymandias being saying any meaning to the Japanese names of the trial musics, which is Ikaroshia and Ekaroshia. I think they just literally translate to homicide and kill command, but I'm not exactly sure. guess there's nothing else to do. There's only one door left, and I think you know what it is. Also, it's also very interesting that they call this the old building. Makes it sound like they, I don't know. I guess it's not literally the same old building as in chapter 1.
僕も待ち疲れたんで、思い切って始めちゃいますか。お待ちかねの卒業試験です。
Thanks, game.
お前ら、希望が峰学園の1階にある赤い扉へとお入りください。
Oh yeah, also, God, now I can finally say this. You know the reason why I kept saying, Danganronpa 2, goodbye fourth wall? Yeah, the fourth wall jokes. They were just there because they wanted to do fourth wall jokes. They were there because this is literally a game. Monokuma literally knows that. And Monokuma's literally making jokes about it in front of them because they're going around and being all, like, ignorant about it, taunted in their faces. It's so good! Like, the fourth wall breaking has a purpose to it. It's not just there for, being dumb. I love this game too much, guys. It's really good. A red door, huh? It's just a waste of time thinking about what this all means right now. For now, I need to finish this. I need to just focus on that. Like, you can, like... I feel really empathetic for Hajime, but it's basically like, there's all this detail, all of this stuff, future foundations, remnants of despair, and, hope, despair, Monokuma, the tragedy, this tragedy, and the tragedy, and this tragedy, Monokuma, and Junko and Ashima. It's all weird and confusing, and, like, understanding the details of it is something that you really shouldn't ask someone like Hajime to understand. But you just have to focus on don't think too much about the hope and despair and ramifications of everything that you're going to have to do and what you're going to have to face. Just think about what's ahead of you. There's only one thing you need to do, and that's the graduation exam. Once you do that, we can figure out the rest. Everything about this world, everything about us, everything about our friends. All we need to do is just do it. He means this red door, right? Do I just have to go in here? If I do that, will this be finished? It's a very well-paced game. This is why you play the game by release orders and not chronological order, or it doesn't work as well. I mean, why would you ever play a game in chronological order? Like, literally every game is basically built on top of the games that came before them. Ultra Despair Girls maybe not as much, although it, doesn't care too much about spoiling things from Danganronpa 2 because Nagito's in it. I can say that part now. Nagito's in Danganronpa 2, and he's wearing an oven mitt the entire time to hide the fact that he's got Junko's hand attached to him. Yay! Anyway, but that being said, if we're talking about release order, if you want to truly do release order, what you should be doing is, like, the best way to do it is play Danganronpa 1, then read the Danganronpa 0 novels, then play Danganronpa 2. Because Danganronpa 0 was actually released before Danganronpa 2. And it was the thing that first started all that, all the stuff about the reserve course and the tragedy of Hope's Peak and Izuru Kamakura. They all originated in Danganronpa 0, so. Oh yeah, and I love this part. This is it. It's the final tunnel. I can't even move the camera left and right. I can only move it up and down. Let's go, guys. 01011010 and all these wireframes. Let's keep walking towards our future. Whatever the fuck that is! We're getting there. Let's go. Ooh. Skies? Class Trial Ground 1. This place. Yes, the order is, Danganronpa 1, then the Danganronpa 0 novel, novels, novels plural, then Danganronpa 2, then Ultra Despair Girls, then the Danganronpa 3 anime, but it has to go specifically, you start with the first episode of Future Arc, then this first episode of Despair Arc, then you alternate until you finish those both, and then you do Hope Arc, and then you play Danganronpa V3. That is the Danganronpa order. Danganronpa 3 is weird. Huh? This place! And it's our friends! Looks like everyone's here. It seems that this is gonna be the final place. However, this place is... Is this a trial field? Why is it a trial field? Yeah, this is just a flashback. I mean, you could technically play V3 whenever, but, like, you shouldn't. Wait, hang on, Temmie Bird, were you the one who hadn't played V3 before? But basically, don't play V3 before you play 1 and 2, because it kind of, like, casually decides to just, like, mention major spoilers in Danganronpa 1 and 2 with the characters, so you probably shouldn't. We've been here before, right? Yeah, this should be the place that the door of the ancient ruin leads to. God, Gabby, can you imagine if V3 required knowledge of Zero, Ultra Spare Girls, the anime, and 2? You know what I mean. Yeah, so basically there's a part of the end of V3 where they almost as a joking way, sort of casually mention spoilers of Danganronpa 1 and 2, so be careful. It seems pretty strange that we've been in that other building up till now. It's like we're dreaming or something. This is a dream, and this too is very... So, you finally arrived! Congratulations! You guys are the first ones to ever beat this game! After stopping by Hope's Peak Academy, you finally come back to this place. To the graduation exam site within the ancient ruins of Jabberwock Island. You can give it a fancy name like graduation exam site, but it's no different than the trial ground from before. This trial field actually inspired the one from before, so in a way, this place is the original. Who cares? This graduation exam means we can finally go home, right? Of course, if that's what you guys decide. And if we have to decide, what do we have to do? Please take a look at the LCD touch panel built into your seats. Compared to the other trials, the rules are much simpler this time. There are 2 options, graduate and repeat, right? You just have to choose one of them and press it. All of you will cast your vote, and whichever one has the majority will be considered your final decision. If you don't press either of them, it will be treated as an absence and not be counted. Which means everyone who has died till now will have their votes treated as absences. Then the result is based on our majority vote. If graduate is chosen by a majority vote, from there an event that's kind of like a graduation program ceremony called the graduation program will begin. Even if we do this stupid majority vote, the result is already pretty damn obvious. Come on, let's move this along. We can press it now, right? No, you can't do that yet. I mean, your resolve hasn't found yet, right? Your will to be swept away by society's harsh current. Shut up! Who the hell cares? I'm gonna press it! My, which of your orifices are you using to spew bile? To participate in the graduation program, you need my final say as your teacher, you know? What? Does that mean it won't end with just a majority vote? Man, I never thought Fuyuhiko would make it to the end of my first playthrough. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he did because he is my husband and I love him. I mean, also Hajime, and everyone's my husband, so never mind. After the vote, I'm going to judge every single one of you to see if it's okay if you graduate or not. So even if you vote, you're saying we won't graduate unless you acknowledge it. Yeah. I'm terribly sorry for being rude earlier. But you don't have to worry. There's no way I won't acknowledge your graduations. This is merely a formality. I'm just doing it because that's how it has to be. He's doing it because it's how it has to be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean he can exert his will over everything. He too has a limit. Is this what alter ego was talking about? Anyway, even if you don't want to do it, you guys still need to do it to solve the mystery. Afterwards, you cast your majority votes, and from there on, we move on to the graduation program. But why do we even have to go through something so dumb? Well, that is... You said you were waiting for the main cast, right? Which means you're just stalling for time then. Who's the main cast? Oh no, no need to worry about it. It has nothing to do with you guys. There is no way it has nothing to do with us. We are the only ones who are involved, you know. Doesn't matter if you're involved or not. You're just a bunch of chumps in the big picture. That's why it has nothing to do with you. Just perform your roles without complaining. Hold on. What's with that chump comment? I can't ignore that. Not that it's important or anything, but make sure you turn off that toy. How dare you treat him like a toy? I did treat him like a toy. You got a problem with that? I created everything. You're actually picking a fight with me? I'm basically a god. Just how promising can you guys be? I guess this is just the nature of life. Fine then, before you die, sear my power into your memories. Oh no, he has the power to change the screen. Oh no, he has the power to prompt a save screen. My god, I'm so happy Akane made it to the end. I was convinced she would die in the other chapters. Yeah, I mean, I know some people are like, why did Akane have to be a survivor? She didn't learn anything. She's still being dumb. I wish somebody else survived. But like, no. Akane's funny anyway. You know what? I'll save there. Yeah, okay, I'll save here. So, that's it! And, of course, even in 6, hello world, hello world, hello world. Even the court preparation screen is glitching out. Because it's all a game! So, that is Chapter 6 Investigation. Probably a lot to unpack there. But like I said, what's so great about it is it ends up with that sense of hope. With that sense of Monokuma is basically this virus that has complete control of this program and this world. But we have the power to fight back. Makoto Naegi, Chihiro Fujisaki, apparently some of the cast from the first game have given us some kinds of weapon that we can use. You know, like that final thing that we can do to stop Monokuma from whatever the hell Monokuma wants to actually do. Everyone's motivations right now, well, we don't really exactly know, but they will be revealed. What exactly Monokuma is doing, why he made us play the killing game, why he created this killing game. What else, how this relates to Makoto Naegi and the Future Foundation, what Makoto Naegi actually wanted from us, and what we have to do to make sure that we get the ending, we get the future that we want. Oh god, so the thing about it is, I was excited for this, but the real big thing is, the thing that I love the most about Danganronpa 2 is in fact this final case. The thing, like a lot of Danganronpa, the finales can be. They have good concept. They've got good ideas and concept, but sometimes the execution isn't perfect and whatever. It's a bit like, I see what you were going for, but I wish that you'd put a bit more. That you did a bit more with this aspect and this aspect. But I think the entire ending to Danganronpa 2. It was basically the thing that made me go from, these were enjoyable games. I'd recommend it to people too. Well, but I guess I'm fangirl trash now. It was this case 6. I'll explain it to you when we get to it. which might be next week, might be the week after, depending. I'm going on holiday at one point soon, so yeah, this kid's gonna blow your minds. I have one gripe with it, but I honestly still love it. I was like, tell me, bud. You should tell me what your gripe is. But then again, I was like, you can't really tell. Maybe send me a whisper if you want to ask, if you want to say what your issue with it was. I mean, because I think it's great. So, I'm so excited, guys. I can't wait, and I can't believe it's gonna be over. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do once I finish this. It's gonna be weird. Like, I've been doing this since like the beginning of this year, so. I guess I'll find another Danganronpa game or another visual novel or something. You know, I might find something. It'll be great. I'll see you then.